Good morning and good day to all audience and viewer from Masa University Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to the webinar conducted by of Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Masa University. My name is Nur Atirah Nabila binti Muhammad Idrus. I am an IT lecturer in Masa University and I will be serving as your moderator today. Today, we will be hearing a presentation from Mr. Abdul Hafiz bin Abdul Rashid. Mr. Abdul Hafiz Abdul Rashid, recognized as infrastructure specialist, office firewall operation at North IT, just joined recently as level 3 engineer support. Holds degree in information technology from University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, 7 years of experience in network and security, experience in implementation, operation, and technical management. He has certification in ITIL and SE4, CCSAR80, CIPA, F5. In terms of achievement along his journey, he managed to get excellent rating for every consecutive year for his contribution to the company and has been promoted in previous company as Senior Associate Lead Network from Shift Lead at NCS Malaysia. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Abdul Hafiz Abdul Rashid, who will be speaking to us with topic My Education Journey and Value to Network Security. Alright, Mr. Abdul Hafiz, the floor is yours.
Yep. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Thank you so much to the moderator today, which is one of my close friend when we were study, Miss Noadira. So I would like to gratitude to all of you. Thank you so much for actually for to Masa University and also to Miss Atira for inviting me to have a talk and sharing session with you guys as considered as my brother and sister. So before start, I would like to introduce a bit of myself. So my name is Abdul Hafiz bin Abdul Rashid. So I was born in Kuala Lumpur, and I was living in Selangor for the past 23 years, and also as one of the eldest out of the three siblings. And I will love my hobby is like to play futsal, footballs, and also love to get. I mean, to explore a new challenge. That is why my later on you can see my journey of my education and also working, which is across multiple company and so on. So I do hope you guys already have breakfast because already 11 o'clock. So for those who fasting, happy fasting day. And then let's start with the next slide. So I explain a bit of my biography of my background. So my I will start on the SK Tamamuda. So I hope those who knows this school, of course you might be my junior lah. So this is my journey before I graduate in UTHM, and I was going for my secondary school in Janarico. So those who knows me, those who knows like football player like Shahurin and like DJ like Silam Paul, they are coming from my secondary school from SMK Janarico Kajang. So some of you might know this school, and some of you might come from this school. So I'm your senior on that time. I was XPM leaver on 2006, the last batch of the SPM in that in Malay version. Now they have a Dui version. So further, I start my care. I mean my further study in certificate. Of course, you might wondering why I start with a certificate instead of like you guys maybe from matriculation, maybe from a diploma, maybe you guys already working. So then after that, get opportunity to further study. So it's all different background, I believe. So so I was start in my studies on 2007, and then I graduate in 2009, and then after that I going to continue my study in UTHM. So why okay, before I move further, why I was going this kind of like long journey, achieve I believe around 8 years, 8 years plus minus 8 years. So on that time when I was SPM, I was maybe like you guys, like I was not a good. I mean, in studies maybe I was like love to play, to become a sportsman, love to have social with friends, like enjoy as a teenager. So when I realized when I was SPM, then my result was not good. So I realized that I must do something to change of my life, because I think I maybe done a mistake. So I was realized, and after that, with consult with my parents. They know me that I'm loved to in this industry, like playing games and getting more information in terms of technology. So mm, they decided, and I also decided to further study in information technology at college community. So on that time, I believe you guys might know right now, like uh, college community, where you can go, where you should go, how you can further study from college community. Some of people does don't know, so I will explain a bit actually about the technical college and also background. So some of you might heard like college, community college. Some of you might heard like ILP. Some of you might heard of IKM, which is under Mara. Some of you might heard like EdTech and so on. So this kind of institution, they're serving a certificate they have a certificate in information technology, and their level is level 3, except IKM lah, because they have two level, which is second level and so third level. So whenever you have certificate in level 3, you can further studies in diploma, which is diploma considered as level 4, and degree is considered as level 5. So in order equivalent for you to continue study, so this is one of the place that you can further your study and also continue your journey to pursue your dreams. So it depends. I believe from your university you must be a different background, like programming, multimedia, and so on. So nevertheless, don't limit your knowledge. Learn more and also explore more. So back to my background. I mean, whenever I finish my studies, I also same like others students when I was young. I also was thinking where I mean where I should further my study, where I should go. Is it I'm going to working after I finish my study? Either I further my study, or I'm trying to open business. So that on that time it was tough, because if let's say you open a business, then maybe you have a different risk and so on. So I keep saying that during my study in certificate, I already set goal. I want to become a network security engineer. So that was my started career off. So when I was finished, when I was graduate in community college, then there's a event called Chomaso IPT. So it's held by KPT. So that event is very good actually for students, and it's not focused on to for the study. It's focused to industry also, that you can, before maybe you get graduate, you can apply, you can try to sit for interview with their big company like Petronas, like HPE, and like High Tech Padu. So depends on the company that involved with the event on that time. So I was attend the event. I was asking a lot of question how to further studies. There's a lot of government university, private university. So on that time, I was sharing that time. After that, I get the information. Then I submit application to UTHM. Then I was accepted and finished my study in 2011 on diploma. Why it was short? Uh, I mean, of course, diploma will take around 3 years. But why it become short? Because of the I was graduate from certificate. I just discussed with the head of department during that time to ensure that I have enough transfer credit, so that I can have a shorter time to finish my study in diploma. So that is why when you can see, as you can see on screen, it was take along 1 year and 11 months. And also on that time, I was started to involve activities with the university. Although that, as I said, I was very busy when I was school. I was so my mothers and my fathers always said that don't want to get involved because it will interrupt your studies. But as I said, I was be part of that. I was involved a lot of things so that I can ensure that my PR, my involvement, my network to students like current one, which is invited by Miss Atira. So this kind of network that will help you to grow more and to mature you more to in this whatever industry that you in. So I was part of mobility student to Cambodia, and it was a good experience when you can exchange your knowledge, exchange your whatever, exchange your culture with them. So you can see Cambodia is way far poor than us. So I was actually I mean it was like you can't never imagine that when you say that people are poor in Malaysia, but in Cambodia is much poorer than us. But we are lucky to become a Malaysia citizen. So furthermore, after that I continue my study in degrees. So this time I don't have any exemption anymore because I already got secure on the during my diploma. And then this year is also as a tough year because I was not, to be honest with you guys, I believe some of you are similar. I'm not a good in theoretical, to be honest. I was lack on theoretical, but I was trying hard to understand whenever that topics or subject they have theoretical. So I have to tackle it by doing some like notes, short notes, so that I can remember this point, this important point, so that I can make notes, so that every day, every day I will put on the right paper on the short notes, with the key points, so that I can understand this is about what, this is about what, especially on the history subject on, and also like mathematics, a lot of theorem that we need to remember, and so on. So as I said, uh when I continue in degrees, I also involve a lot of things like helping Miss Atira when she was a representative student on that time, and then after that, involving a lot of management. The club involved. As long as there is a club that and also there's a event that I would like to be part of, I will try to apply and sit for interview and so on. So I was playing football as a Masum player on that time, and also part of the volunteer national flood. If you know, like currently now at Johor and also at Pahang, so currently they have a flood at the moment and heavy rain since past 2 days. So a lot of the NGO are already being moved to help them and so on. And furthermore, the important part I want to explain to you is that I managed to secure a job before I graduate in my degrees, which is on December 2015. So I was graduate in 2016. I will start my journey of my career on 1st February 2016. I didn't graduate yet. So I managed to secure the job before I finish my industrial training, which is end of December, but I secured the job early of December. So this is the point that I want to stress, that when you go for industrial training, this is some of the point, or important key lah for you guys. If let's say when you go for the industrial training, ensure that you choose the correct company, ensure that you choose with the you have go through the company, what is the learning base that you're going to have outcome when you finish your industrial training. Because some of students, including me, they are always take consider as industrial training to get more money, for example like allowances and so on, but they do not focus on the knowledge, or also hands-on, for example. So that is why currently what I observe, students are lack of. So whenever they graduate from the university, some of them might is no, I mean is not being hired by other company. They are still struggling to sit for the interview, because you imagine you are from for example, you're from private university, you need to compete with other private university that the different, I mean, maybe different background. For example, you sit to try to sit interview for network security, so you're from IT background field, which is general IT. You need to compete with a person that have CCNA. You need to compete person that have background for that field. So how to differentiate that you are different from this kind of students? Be, that is why it comes to the industrial training. When it comes to industrial training, you have more exposure, you have more as on. Maybe the other candidates, maybe they have already exposure during their studies, so they are not focusing on the training. It could be yes, it could be wrong. So this role, I mean this key role will help you to secure a job. And just to share, as a in during my class, I mean, sorry, when I have 20, if I'm not mistaken, my class my class consists of 32 students. Only me have only I have graduated from general information technology, so only me only working on this field, which is network security. And I also help my friends to secure a job. And also, so this kind of thing will will give you advantage, that to help your friends, to give you um how to make a good resume. So it's not like that. For example, like maybe you guys might reach me to in term of like job vacancy, maybe how to share, a good, how to do a good resume, and how to have a good PR, something like that. So no need to be shy. Of course, as a student, we have to enjoy our life, we have to enjoy our time. But there is some part that you need to focus of your goal. You need to set your goal after you finish your study. What you will do. So that is a bit of my background lah, my education background. Nevertheless, I move to the next slide. So this is my working experience. So I think you guys might be thinking why I have a different company within 7 years or 8 years. So it was not like okay, maybe you guys might thinking that maybe for example, some of people said like toxic environment. Some of people said your boss is not good. Some of you said your colleague is not helping you when you at your work or something else. So actually it depends on yourself and how you drive, actually. Because of when I said that, as I said to you, I love to explore a new challenge. So whenever I secure a job at HP, so which is the first one, HP. So actually on that time, I explain a bit about the company history. So actually on that time, HP was split to HP, which is Hewlett Packard Enterprise. And then after that, during that time, they have a job vacancy for fresh graduate. So it was a first batch. I was the first batch of that program that we run through around 2 months to unleash your skill. You are on which area? So I was joined HP around 2016, 1st February. And then after that, during the 2 months, this is important. I'm not sure whether there is a others company that can provide you 2 months training, and this company provide you 2 months training because you are fresh graduate. So you might not know because as I said, you are a student, you might not know you want to focus on what, because IT is a I mean it's a subjective. You might go to become engineer, you might go to become a I mean graphic designer, you might become a multimedia engineer. So it's very huge. So you need to set your goal, whatever you want to become. So like this company that I joined on that time, they have several background like servers, like storage, like programming, like network and firewalls and so on. So on that time I was I mean score on that time, so I was placed to the file as a file engineer. So when you join a company, you don't expect that the company would say that okay, you when you already when you graduate already, that means you are already professional. No, you need to change of mindset, because whenever you join any company, you bring your experience, but you just have to learn from the beginning to adapt the company process, to adapt the company change process, operation process, and so on. That is why you need to change all of you. If you need to change of mindset whenever you join a company as a fresh graduate, you consider same thing like when you join Masa University. You consider as you are fresh zero, and then after that the company will give you some of several trainings. Some they will have like 1 month and 2 months training, so that you guys can prepare and also onboard and start with the working. So different company, different approach. So which is my company on that time, they gave me a buffer, which is 1 month, and then after that you can adapt with the environment. You can get along with your team, so that you can have more knowledge, and you can need to work with them, have more knowledge based on the what that you are going to do afterwards. So nevertheless, when I was at level one, so I'm doing the same thing. So I have to working with all the seniors members. So how to, for example, like how to tackle like how to introduction to firewall, introduction to network. And on that time when you have a basic knowledge, as I said, and you already have basic knowledge, and you when you already when you back on the industrial training, it will help you. At least you have the basic, like for example like VLAN, or for example like interface of like for example like gigabyte interface, or like a LAN interface. So exposure is important for to help you to understand what you're going to start, to work on that on that field. Okay, so furthermore, I was continue after that. When I finished at level one, I was promoted to level two, and then on that time, company was migration. Company for migrate, which is like HPE was migrate with CSC. If you have heard CSC company, so they now become a biggest share in the company. So they come up with the plan which is migrate to the company as now called as DXC. So I was promoted to level two on that time when we migrated to DXC, and the offer letter was different, because when you migrate to the company, the offer letter was different. And then nevertheless, when the migration happened, they decided that network tower was not be part of the migration with the DXC, and they sold the share to AT&T. So AT&T win the contract, with the DXC. So that's why when you move to the left, I was moved to the AT&T company. So by right is considered as you move to the company and jump to another company, and of course your salary might will be different, because you move to another company, and there is an increment a bit of that. Then I will start as well as a level two non-engineer, and what I support there is a firewall, IPS, IDS, network, F5, wireless, DNS. So all this this type of the network infra, I mean network devices. So these two considered as a multinational company. Of course, you might heard AT&T, you might heard DXC, you might heard HP, and I believe you guys know also DXC no longer have their operation center in Malaysia, but most of the staff work from home at the moment. So on that year, I was a top performer. So after I go through all the process, I mature in this field. Then on 2018 until 2020, I was top performer lah. I mean on that year. And then even when I was moved to another company, which is NCS, on that year, which is 2020, I was promoted by my boss, because he will insist to let me go to leave. But I will say to him, I would like to try a new, I mean, new challenge. I would like to explore a new challenge. I would like to. I've not preferred to sit. I mean, to sit in the comfort zone for too long, because these two journeys, I already been within the company around 4 years. So after that, I was moved to NCS that based in Singapore. So it's a different company. One is the American telco. NCS is belong to the subsidiary of company, which is Sintel, Singapore Telco. So this is the best part I want to share. So I hope you guys not boring. So this is the part I want to share is whenever I was at AT&T, when I joined NCS, I was apply for the level 2 engineer. So I'm not sure, maybe I was I mean perform, or I'm not sure. Then sudden it was so sudden, then the manager was asking me to sit for another role, which is a shift lead role, which is I'm not applying for this role, but they're giving opportunity for me to interview for this role. And nevertheless, I was hired as a shift lead role, not as a engineer, which is level 3. Shift lead was a level 3 on that company. So I also understand that shift lead is a different role, and I was culture shock on that time. I never know like how to work as a shift lead, but I have a friends that on my previous company work as a shift lead, so maybe I was taught it's a same thing. But when it comes to the NCS is considered as a SI company, system integration companies. They have a lot of things like wireless, DNS, proxy, I mean, some of the devices are firewalls. Some of the devices is on legacy platform. They use the end of life operating system. They use end of life devices. So some of you might heard Sintel, right? So Sintel, yeah, Sintel is a good company, but some of the devices is a legacy devices. So they are now planning to change it, to the to upgrade to the latest, and to follow the, I mean, the compliance that they have in the company. So nevertheless, when I was, I mean, when it comes to the 2022, which is last year, around I think around May, around June, uh I was received a promoted. So which is a promoted, which is level 4, which is, as you saw there, senior associate lead network. I mean, the bigger role that I have to cope with the company, which is, for example, like I have to manage my team in Malaysia. So this NCS is, there is a branch in Malaysia, based in KL Gateway. So I have to manage my team, which is consists of 5 peoples, including me. I have to manage their, I mean, their leave. I have to manage their working. I have to manage their claims and so on. And I have to sit for meetings, which is I don't like, because as I said, I was not a type of person that, I mean, to have a, like formal one. So as you can see, my entire, so I would not say that I would not prefer, but it's a good exposure actually, because we have to sit meeting with the all the all the stakeholder and also management. So that exposure is there. I mean, to share, like for example like in the 1 week, what is the incident, for example incident or chain that you have problems to move forward maybe. So on that meeting you need to explain, you need to share, and also do you have any problem with the team and so on. So a lot of things that which is within 1 year that I have go through. And then nevertheless, I was hearing in the rumors that uh, the team that I was involving on NCS on that time was going to move to India. So they have operation center over there, they want to move to India. So after that, maybe I feel insecure because there's no because when you feel uncertainty, there might something happen to you, or they might not happen, because even your bosses also was not aware. So then I was go with the flow, and then after that, until I was getting offer from my current company, which is Knopf IT, which is secured by one of my consultant that working to secure this job, and she was helping me to secure this job with the company. So you guys might thinking that I already at L4, why I moved to this company and become again as a L3. As I said, during my time 1 years, I become half of management, half of technical. I was I mean my technical skill, I think is getting become lower, and I need to ensure that I have to maintain the skill, so that at least uh, whenever you want to troubleshoot, for example, to solve the problem, at least you're not lacking in terms of the update knowledge, for example, because IT, for example, today you are learning, tomorrow there will be a new release knowledge base, new release information, new release virus, for example, like ransomware. Today version 1, tomorrow is version 2, next after day is version 3. So it keep updated, because the whenever you improve your security, same thing with the virus, they will improve to penetrate your network, same thing. So when I joined this company, I was hired as a level 3, and also it's similar like NC as a like SI company. But this one company is one of the biggest, I mean, gypsum company in the world. As you guys know, like for example, like PANB 118 towers, and then after that, China Shanghai Towers. So China Shanghai Towers is the biggest client for this company, Knopf IT. And they also have the Thailand Mall, Siam Mall, if I'm not mistaken, is a fully used infrastructure. I mean gypsum, and also other infrastructure tools from this company, and much more. So this all the company is considered as a big company. For you guys, maybe you can try in the future to apply, and when you finish your study, this one of the company that you can target to go there. So that's a working experience 7 years as of now. So now I will share you guys about what I'm going to share, which is network security, but I'm more focusing on security. So so in IT security, as you guys know, you guys already learned from your study. I just want to touch a bit to ensure that this is what you need to practice lah. So here it's not focusing on 8 steps. There might be more, there might be less. So it depends on your that time requirement. So for example, like you are a student, maybe on that time requirement is not all these 8 as per in the list. So you might need require 1 or 2 only. So I will start, for example, like apply encryption to data, and apply encryption to data. For example, like have you heard about BitLocker? So BitLocker is one of the tools that to encrypt your data, especially like for example, like you have C drive, you have D drive in your laptops to ensure your data is being encrypted and be protected by other outside connection or intervene. For example, like you use computer networks, and then maybe visible your computer might visible to the others network, and then when people try to log in your computer, it might be you not set the password, and when they want to penetrate your data, the BitLocker will ask the some kind of password or key in order to open and in order to unencrypt the data, so something like that. This is what applying encryption to data, and also set up a firewall. So firewall is a very common at the moment. For example, like your laptop also have Windows firewall. Your phone also you might need to set up. You can have a firewall in order to protect scam, like spam. So this one can be applied. For example, you were at home. For example, because you're using, of course, you're using Wi-Fi. You see at home with your colleagues. So you might need to have a good router. For example, not too good router, but there's a affordable router that have a firewall setting. They have the IPS to prevent you from spam, scam, and also to prevent you any unauthorized web server. Porno server, everything you can block over there to ensure that your network is protected. Because this is not focused on your enterprise network, it could be focused on your private network at your home or at your small office and so on. Third one will be on VPN. So you guys, of course, you get much. Will be known better than me. VPN is for virtual private network. So eventually, for example, like you want to some of website you are not unable to access, or maybe some of the look. Like website lah. Could prefer like maybe in Brazil, in Brazil, but some of the website in Brazil, or maybe for example Netflix. I believe you guys love watching Netflix, right? So this VPN is actually to translate your network. You are using your network from your home, for example Unify, and then Unify connected to the VPN that you choose based on the place. For example, you choose Brazil, and then your network will be moved to the Brazil network. Whenever you check your IP address, your IP address now in Brazil network. So that is why whenever you use VPN, for example, for example, is Netflix, your content Netflix will change to that country. For example, the movie that in Brazil region you want to watch, but you unable to watch because you are in Malaysia. VPN is one of the tools that you want to watch them, for example, movie on that particular region, and it allow you because the content was changed to Brazil content. Whatever that have on Malaysia content, it might not visible at Brazil. So these are the concept. The VPN that I would like to explain, which is that you are using different network, or you might need to connect to Masa, for example, Masa portal. You enable your VPN on Masa. They might maybe on Masa IT, they might see that this IP from Brazil. So that means you are connected to outside, then coming to the Masa portal, then you can see is from IT monitoring, it will show you the IP from Brazil. So this is what the concept of virtual private network. And then four is be consistent in node monitoring. This one more like maybe like for example, like as I said, if you have your own routers, you might need to check like CPU utilization of your routers, and also like what is the being blocked by the IPS. At least you can monitor, okay, this website you already know it consists of spam, consists of scam, so maybe you need to avoid. For example, like some of people, I believe they some of them they put ad block, for example ad block on the Chrome, on the browser. So this ad block will block you whatever, like advertisement, like pop-up scam whenever you open and different portal, because some of the portal they put the advertisement. Of the advertisement actually considered as like to phishing you to click there to open that portal, and then When your router find out, is considered as spam. So you can check, when you can check log, it considered as spam. So this one you can be monitored, and you can be aware lah. And sounds much more than you can do on with network monitoring. It's not very specific. And then after that, install antivirus and malware protection. So this one, as I said, if you have the good router, I mean they have like this kind of features. For example, like one of the model like TP links, they have they have inclusive about inclusive on firewall IPS. It will show you that whatever portal that you will have clicked, and it will quarantine that link as a spam, as a scam, as phishing. So it's a good thing to have a routers that can do this. Can do these kind of features. So example, you are using mobile phone, you are surfing, for example, like one of the website that consists of spam. Your router will be blocked, will be block whatever content that you want to open, and it will show you as a spam. So you're not able to go to the portal itself. So this that is why whatever, like for example, like Unify, Time, they provide a basic router without any protection. Of course, their network is being protected by their IT team, but we need to protect also our network, because some of students, they will love to hack the Wi-Fi, especially. I also one of the student that doing that on my studies. I was hack my Wi-Fi. I will hack Wi-Fi. Then after that, I use that Wi-Fi. Actually, I was testing my knowledge. So some of you might be better than me. Some of you might be trying to explore a new thing that considered as a bad move, actually. But it's a learning, it's a learning purpose. But I hope you don't do often, because it's not good for your journey. For your life. So then after that, update software often. So update software often means that, for example, you have Windows. Why they keep release the security patch? Because they need to strengthen the Windows. For example, maybe they find out the Windows is being can be penetrate from this area. So they strengthen their security. They release a patch. Same thing like your iOS. If you use Apple user, if you are Android user, same thing. They will release the patch. They will increase the security, which part, or maybe they increase about the camera and so on. So these are the patch to ensure that the software is updated and secure. And maybe you are not aware that it will be a auto update software that will be applied on your laptops or your PC, on your phones. Like for example, like you update your application like CMB Click, for example, you set as an auto update. So you might not aware that your software already updated, up to date. So this is come to the update software often. Then after that, create strong password. This one, I believe, most of us are using a very weak password, because we have problems to remember, to memorize, or to save the password. So nevertheless, please try to use the strong password that consists of capital letters, low letters, and also with character. Simple character should be enough. So for example, like APIZ, and then star, then 11989, and then after that you put zero. So at least if, let's say, someone want to crack your password, it will take time, because you have meet the criteria for a strong password. So it's not easy to crack the password, although that you can do it, but it will take times to crack the password. The stronger your password, the harder the person or someone to crack your password to penetrate your data. So that is why I recommend you, if let's say today you are not creating a strong password, you can create now, and you can keep it at your mobile, the password, and you can keep in your books. There's a lot of tools that you can use to create to keep your password and ensure you have a strong password. And nevertheless, the last one is a setup two-factor, which is, I believe, everyone are aware. Like our banking are now already introduced two-factor, which is, I suppose, they're supposed to introduce way back, I think like 5 years, 6 years ago, so that everyone can have a two-factor authentication whenever they want to pay. they want to do transaction, they want to transfer anything, they want to, for example, when you want to pay a bills, there must be, whenever you key in the password, another two-factor need to be approved from the banking. So these two-factor now become become as a compulsory now, because, for example, you log in your Facebook. I believe your Facebook might be hacked by your friend. For example, you put your laptop away, and maybe for example, you're at library, you want go for the try to find books or to for your study, and then after that your friends want to play with you, and they put they put something on your Facebook or something. At least whenever you keep idle your Facebook, this two-factor authentication, whenever you want to log in, most of students they put the password remember password. So whenever you log out the Facebook, whenever password is there, so when you click log on, there will be prompt of the two-factor authentication, which is I will share on next slide how to install, how to add the two-factor. So whenever you click log on, it will pop up you a two-factor authentication, and you need to keep some of the key from your apps. That means you already protected your Facebook. This is one of thing lah. You protected Facebook from being login from unauthorized person. Maybe your Facebook being hacked. Of course, I heard a lot of people saying that your Facebook being hacked, Instagram being hacked. So Instagram also can do it a two-factor. Maybe people not knowing. Even Twitter also can do a two-factor authentication. Most of the application have visible this two-factor authentication to protect their data, to protect their network. Uh, so if you don't have two-factor setup, you might need to do it now or later to protect your social media network, especially. Of course, you're sharing a lot of things in social media. So once especially like pictures, like your families, one the data received from the unintended person, that you might be in trouble. So that is what happened lah. But we try to avoid as far as possible by doing this kind of setup, two-factor authentication. Okay, and then after that, a bit brief about IT security, protection information, that especially or the processing of information. Okay, and IT security is intended to prevent manipulation of data system by unauthorized by third party. As I said, when you have that kind of preventing prevented tools like BitLocker, two-factor, firewall. So it's is considered as you already prepared to protect your network being hacked or being penetrated by outsider or hacker and so on. So the IT security is separated by three area, which is endpoint security. This one you will be facing whenever you are in a working environment, like it will be a high end level, like your networks, firewalls, IPS, IDS, and then after that, you have cybersecurity teams to monitor your networks, to monitor all in and out your IP address in the company itself or in your, for example, in Masa University. So they have this kind of tools to ensure that their network, their IT network is secure. And then internet and cloud security. Most of you are now using like iCloud, Google Cloud. So they also have their cloud security to protect your network, and also user security, which is like mobile phone, maybe like mobile phone and so on lah. I mean, in terms of the authentication of user, like you log into bankings and so on. This is in terms of user security. So I explained a bit about firewall, so how firewall works, so that you guys know what is happening, what is happening. So firewall is an internet network connection device that restrict data communication traffic between two connected networks. As you can see from this diagram, a firewall might be either an application installed on a general purpose computer or dedicated platform appliance, which is forwards, reject, or drop the packet on network. So as you can see from the picture here, you can see there is a two client one and client two. So uh you guys need to know this firewall is based on the OSI layer. So we have 7 layers, right? OS, 7 layers. So firewall is on layer 4, which is transportation layer. So routing which is on the layer 3. So this is the basic one lah, because by right there is a router in front of the firewall that doing the routing, and then after that they move to the layer 4, which is the firewall. So that was the I mean the basic of the network diagram lah. So nevertheless, I just explain you the functionality of the firewall. So firewall in the layer 4, which is consist of two protocols. Firewall only have two big protocols, which is TCP and also UDP. That's it. If let's say you said HTTP, which is a port 80443, SMTP port, whatever port, DNS port at 53 ports, and also UDP. So it's considered only on TCP and UDP only. And TCP is a, like for example, like you access Facebook, you can see in front of it HTTPS. Is considered as port 443. So that one is considered as secure. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Okay, and then for the unsecure one, HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is port 80, which is the one that we can see from the diagram. So why the diagram show here? When client 1 to access the server on port 80 was allowed, but when client 2 want to access the SQL on that server on this particular port was dropped. So firewall is consist of two, which is stateless and stateful. The current that we use in the organization and other organization is a stateful, which it has HA mode and also redundancy mode on the firewall. So the rules, I mean the traffic flow, it based on the state table or the rules that we set up in the firewall. Firewall have a rules, it's called as a policy names, rules that we create and we set up in that firewall to allow specific connection from client 1 to the LAMP server. So what I can see here, based on the client 1, they want to access LAMP server on port 80. The rule was there, was already created. That is why firewall we check client 1 is a IP, for example, 10.10.10.10 is valid on the rules that already been created in the firewalls. That's why it's considered accepted traffic, allowed traffic HTTP 80. What about the deny one? Whenever they want to, whenever the client 2 want to access this server with this port to access this MySQL, it was showing reject all, because in firewall there is a still rule and also and deny to any rule. So whenever firewall check on the policy table, there's no rules that related, match with the client to IP and also LAMP server and also destination that going to, which is port 3306. The traffic will reject all. This is one of the enterprise level firewall that to protect in and out your network. It depends on your design. For example, maybe you put a perimeter firewall that facing internet. Whenever you want to access, for example, Facebook might be blocked on the firewall on a different section, which is application URL filtering, to block the Facebook being accessed from the office network, for example. So you can do that instead of the using a rule. So there's a features on the firewalls. Different product have different features. So let's focus on this one first. This is the basic thing that whenever you become a firewall engineer or network engineer, these are the overview how the firewall block your traffic. Instead of the like your home network, it was like you need to set up manually. I mean, there's some features already auto set up, but if let's say you have advanced router at your home, you might need to set up your own firewall to block everything that you unintended to go to. especially like your kids, maybe like your siblings they want to access unintended website, so you can block from that firewall. So this is one of the firewall that we mechanism firewall they use in the enterprise network. Okay, so and then after that, as I said, I will not go through all the 8 steps. I will go through the important key that will be common used in situation, which is two-factor authentication as a identity access management security method that require two forms of identification to access resource and data. And some of these, some of the product which is Symantec, Okta, Silverford, and some others tools. So these tools are some of the tools that I think you might heard, like Symantec one. Like I think you might heard that Okta, Silverford, you might not heard. These are one of the tools that being used as a two-factor. For example, you want to set a Facebook two-factor. You can download this one of the software. Sorry, and then after that, there is a steps how to enable the two-factor on for the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. You might need to most of these tools are being used also not only for your personal, they might be used on your enterprise company, like mine. I'm using Okta, my previous company using Symantec and also Silverford. So depend on the company using which tools, two-factor authentication. Same thing like banking at the moment. For example, you want to pay bills, you want to pay water bills. When you key in your username, password, after that there's a two-way. Either you click the two-factor authentication from the bank, Maybank online bankings, or you need to wait for the security code that you can key in. So either one you can choose. By right, as I said, two-factor need to be implemented, not current, not recently, back to the 5 years, because nowadays attack on the our network is become crucial, especially on ransomware. And I would like to share you some things, like for example, I think you guys might remember that CIMB have CIMB, for example, down for 1 week, if I'm not mistaken, like in terms of like online banking, in terms of like transaction, in terms of like other thing lah, in terms of like business as well. So actually it was happened because of the ransomware. So ransomware is very crucial when they attack to the company, because it will open you a SSH SSH port to all infra devices, all infra servers, so that they can penetrate. Whenever they can penetrate one server to one other server, they will lock your file, they will encrypt your file, and you cannot open until they will threat you some agreement. They will threat you some agreement. For example, in order to to decrypt your data, you need to pay some of amount, some of amount that, so that they can decrypt your data. But it will not happen, because when they receive your money, they will not decrypt your data. They will leave it you, and you will be uh, you are already been fooled by them. So this is how ransomware attack was happen, and it's not only on CIMB, and maybe some like biggest company that might be facing this, and it's very crucial to the company that we need to block everything. We need to shut down the data center to ensure that the server is down. There's no connectivity. We need to block all the in and out traffic from the firewall, so that nothing can be trigger, can be affect more to the servers. Because whenever you have that kind of situation happens, you need to build the server again. For example, you have the server affected 10 servers, so that 10 servers you need to build again from the beginning. If imagine that, if let's say you lost the configuration, so you might need to set up a server again based on the last configuration that you managed to secure. And you need to do it one by one, and it will consider, it will trigger you a loss of financial. If let's say it was the big server like ACP server, or maybe like student data server, so it might impact the financial to the university or to the company itself. Okay, so I will show you. This is a two-factor authentication apps that you might need to you might use. For example, like Okta one, you can see there is a step. So the but this is the above one on the first picture is the Okta. I mean Okta overview. I mean, whenever you want to select either organization or others which is like Facebook, Instagram, whatever application or social network that provided a two-factor authentication, then you can use this one of the tools to protect it, and you can follow. For example, the below one is a two-factor authentication. You can go to Facebook, you can find the settings, you can find the two-factor authentication there. You can test, you can play around. After this, you can play around, you can see the difference. Whenever you want to log in Facebook, it will prompt you a two-factor to approve, either to approve or you key in the numbers, which is on the right side. You can see the numbers there. You can key in. For example, you already register Facebook. Whenever you want to log in Facebook, it will prompt you two-factor authentication. So that only you can approve the Facebook, for example. In this one, in term of to protect, because some of students, I also being part of student, we always remember the password, because a lot of thing that we need to remember, a lot of thing we need to focus and to study. Of course, we put everything remember password, because we never imagine that our laptops might be used by other friends. Maybe they have like some intuition, bad intuition to you. Maybe they just waiting for the opportunity, so we don't know. So these kind of tools, these kind of tools can help you to protect your social media network. Of course, like Instagram, maybe you are influencer, you might need to protect your Instagram being hacked, right? So this kind of I mean setup you can might use, because I believe most of the people are very less to use this one. I believe there are more people unlikely, like whatever that banks have done, like two factor. Maybe they are already have a good knowledge to protect their online banking. Maybe some of us might feeling like it was uncomfortable. Some of it, like, it depends, because maybe someone like, someone doesn't like. So but in order to protect your data, this is one of the way, because nowadays we cannot simplify that you are in secure places. Even I, when I office also, when I was going to way to take a coffee, I need to lock my laptops. I cannot trust to anyone, although that my right office place is considered my one of my best friends, for example. So I cannot trust on him also. He might doing something. He might need to penetrate my laptop or reboot something. Maybe I was doing on that time troubleshooting or something. They might doing something unauthorized and unintended, that that be causing you lost your job. So this is about what two-factor authentication lah that you can use. I think that's all. I'm not going to go through overview, but this is what basic things on the security that you might have a basic knowledge, and you might explore more in YouTube as well, that you can learn how to set up firewall, how to secure your network, and also you can learn maybe during your studies. Maybe some of you maybe have subject related to network, so it can give you a basic thing, that how firewall works, how network works, how to protect and so on. So it might give you overview that this is the basic things lah. So I think it's now for the Q&A. So miss, back to you, Miss Azira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Hafiz bin Abdul Rashid, for addressing this interesting topic on study journey, work journey, and also tips for securing the network. Okay, so this one, before we end our session, we would be delighted if you can share your advice to our student for those who taking like general IT. What would be your suggestion for them if, let's say, they are interested to pursue their career in network security? Any certificates in terms of training? We would like to
Okay.
know your advice for that.
Yep. That's a good question. So basically, one of the fundamental that you must have is the IT certificate. So most of the company now they must they at least you must have IT certificate. I understand. Maybe IT certificate also is considered like maybe pricely if you take by your personal. Some of the company not require IT, but they will set a set a schedule for you to sit a training sit for the IT certificate funded by company. But nevertheless, that one there is the basic ITIL that you must have. Or maybe you can go for other certification, maybe like CompTIA plus have basic basic to network. So as I explained at the beginning, you need to find your different value. You need to ensure that you are different from the other student. For example, in your class, for example, you have 20 students in your class. So how to differentiate that you are different from these others 19 students? You might have certified that this 19 student doesn't have the certification. So this same thing what company expected that you might have advantages that you have this kind of certificate. So you might need to advance to you might have the opportunity to advance and secure the job. So and one more thing is like when you in general IT background especially, so you need to set your goal. What is you want to focus on? If let's say you want, for example, I explained on a network security. So you need to start learning about how the network security, how the real world network security is about, and also you need to start, for example, like your next industrial training will be like another next 2 semester. You need to prepare which company you want to go, which company you need to seek for that company first. You check with the company whether you can is it possible that you can sit for the industrial training. So and if let's say you have the opportunity like to go like maybe like for example like mine, I was not going to the big company to industrial training. I was go to the UPM, University Putra Malaysia. I was one of my friend there. I was learning over there. How I'm learning, although that I was doing my industrial training as a degree student, I'm not doing a system. I request to my supervisor industrial training. I will prefer to do a network, and I will do a basic application. I mean, a basic website or system, but I'm more focusing on the hands-on network, like routing configuration, firewall configuration, on-site, doing like handle a case for the ticket user raised by the UPM lecturers, UPM students, UPM residential college, whatever they have related to the network or firewall or network and security. So I will be part to involve that. So you need to find, I mean, you need to find a time, a place that you can get more knowledge in order to differentiate that you are different with other students. That's way how I do it. I managed to secure the job.
Thank you so much for your advice. So we have come to the end part of the presentation. So hopefully the presentation was beneficial for everyone. Thank you so much. On behalf of Masa University, we would like to thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for joining us today. Thank you for your time and thank you for your cooperation.
Yep, you're right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much.